but Mac Jones, is he overrated? Should he be the third quarterback off the board? Is he potentially, a bust in the making, or is he the real deal?
So I don't hate Mac Jones. I have a lot of respect for Mac Jones. He waited his turn, sat behind Jalen Hurts and Tua. He waited his turn and everything like that. But third quarterback off the board, going what, third or fourth overall to San Francisco? No, absolutely. Dude. I don't know if you remember, but what has been the biggest knock on Alabama in the last 12 to 14 years has been
They don't develop quarterbacks.
They don't develop quarterbacks. Part of the reason why it didn't matter all the time, let's take A.J. McCarron, for example. How many college games did A.J. McCarron win? And he was starting as a damn freshman. He played 4 years there. How many games did A.J. McCarron win? But, and A.J. McCarron looked so great in college. And you know what? You are going to look great in college when you're throwing to fucking Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, who was the other one? And Amari Cooper. It's the same. I literally see A.J. McCarron 2.0 and Mac Jones. Listen, it's not a knock on him. It's just we've seen this before. It's just when you have an abundance of talent like that, he's probably a very high IQ player. He's probably a really hardworking guy. But to go third overall, I mean, we've seen this before, dude. I mean, A.J. McCarron failed in the end. I'm not going to say failed because he's gone from roster to roster. He might still be in the league, but
well, he got beat up by Nathan Peterman in Oakland, so
okay, so
he failed. He failed.
But just I think part of the problem with Mac Jones is that we don't know too much about his overall ability, and it's because look at who he was playing with. Like, he's always going to have an elite defense. He was throwing to the Heisman winner. His running back is probably going to be the first running back off the board. Like, the other dude, people were even saying mind you, he was throwing to the Heisman winner, and people were saying Jalen Waddle, who might get drafted before the guy who won the Heisman. Like, that's who he was throwing to. He was throwing to just surefire first-round talent guys. So we don't really know a lot about Mac Jones. I am going to say he's overrated, though. To go at that spot, especially ahead of a guy like Justin Fields, who, if anybody watched the college football playoff, what Justin Fields did to Clemson, I think it would be ludicrous to have Justin Fields go Mac Jones before Justin Fields. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
He's totally overrated. There's not really an argument to be made about, okay, does he have an upside? Yeah. A lot of quarterbacks have upsides. I think Mac Jones, of course he has an upside. But when you're looking at talent, when you're evaluating talent, you're watching the games, what did we notice from Mac Jones in his time at Alabama? Well, you know that he had two great wide receivers in Jalen Waddle and Smith. One of them, like you said, was a Heisman Trophy winner. He had a tendency, though, to lock on to those guys. He had a tendency to not go through his progressions, which in the NFL, as a young quarterback especially, you have to do. You have to be able to go through your progressions and be disciplined. And he showed that he wasn't able to do that. He showed very slow release times. It's a weird release, man. I know a lot of people. He's probably worked on that in recent weeks, and hopefully he's gotten better at it. But you have to be able to get rid of the ball quick, and you have to be able to make quick decisions and stay disciplined. Nice Fiji water, and he doesn't really play also with a lot of poise all the time. You've seen times where he's gotten rattled when he's forced to go out of the pocket. It doesn't look good, man. It really does not look good. So you have all of that, plus he was masked, man. He was masked with tremendous talent in both wide receivers, and then you said Najee Harris, who I think might be one of the best offensive players in the draft.
He'll be the first running back off the board. He will be the first running back off the board.
Oh, yeah, totally. So you have all of that, plus that stout Alabama defense. So he's put in a position where the offense is going to be efficient, and he probably doesn't, and the defense is going to take care of business.
He's very rarely playing from behind.
He was rarely ever playing from behind, and a lot of the times when you saw those big plays from Alabama, they didn't come because of something he specifically did. It was either an amazing catch by one of the receivers or Najee Harris doing something crazy. It wasn't on him. He wasn't the guy. And I'm not, again, this is not, shitting on Mac Jones. I still think he's worth probably a first round pick. I think he's probably more of a second round value, but he's a quarterback, so it's automatically boosted up, which is fine. But I think if you're evaluating talent and who has the most talent, it is ludicrous to take him above Justin Fields. It is ludicrous to take him above Trey Lance. And, there's talk that potentially the Jets might have been looking at him instead of Wilson. It would be ludicrous for him to go above Zach Wilson. So it's just, again, it might just be a fit thing. If it's a fit thing and that's who the San Francisco 49ers want, that's a whole nother deal. In that case, though, why do you trade up to number 3? Because is it because you think someone else is going to get him? Is it because you think someone else is going to trade up? I don't know. I don't like it. That's my other thing. I see. You know what I see with Mac Jones in San Francisco, especially. He's gonna be no different than Jimmy G. Gonna be at his best. He's gonna be no different than Jimmy G, and that's not a knock on Jimmy G or even a knock on Mac Jones. It's just what I think to be true. He's going to be a quality game managing quarterback at his best. And again, we mentioned this in the Alex Smith segment. That's okay. But if they genuinely want to get better, if they want to be able to get over that hump because they were in the Super Bowl last year or 2 years ago, is this the guy who you think you're going to be able to build around for 10 years? Is he going to be the next franchise quarterback to replace Jimmy G, who's already in the offense and he does okay? He's injury prone. That's a different argument, but I don't think he's going to be that much different. If they really want to make a splash, you take Justin Fields. If you want to throw a curveball, even trade Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance has a tremendous upside. I think possibly the biggest upside of any quarterback in this draft. But we'll get into that later. But again, he's just I don't see it. Again, I'm not a talent scout, but I just don't see it. To me, he has at best game manager or AJ McCarron written all over him.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much that's what I say. I mean, it's not a knock on the kid. Won a national championship, set a record, set records in college and everything like that. But it's just, like you said, man, he tends to lock on to receivers, and dude, it's very easy when all you're doing is throwing the long ball to a wideout who can beat his man from the line of scrimmage every time. It's very easy if you're just going to throw the long ball to that dude, and he's going to create so much separation that you can lock onto him. Like they could know that you're gonna single him out, and still, because he's just that talented and that fast, that he's still gonna beat it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's just might be wrong. If I am in like 5 years, let me know. But I don't see it with Mac Jones. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.